Oh hi! What the fuck are you doing on my channel? JK, I'm really glad you're here. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have this little piece of paper that has pretty much all the little things that I have to talk about. And the first thing that is on here says Alien Planet. And that's most likely because I've been watching this documentary on this, apparently there's a planet very, very, very far away, I think in a different solar system, that is just like our Earth pretty much. It has water on it and land as far as the scientists can tell through all the probes and shit like that. But apparently in 2014 they are sending these probes out that are like little, they're like whales almost that just kind of float around the surface, and they program these artificial intelligent robot probes to travel the planet. Of course, it's going to take 6 years for them to get there, and then 6 years for them to get back. But it's all quite cool how it's going to work. They've actually programmed the robots. They actually designed aliens based on different features of our animals and programmed them into the artificial intelligence so that when they get to that, you know, second Earth, it's called, what is it called? Darwin 4. I guess they had 3 others. Fucking weird. Maybe we're Darwin 1. But yeah, apparently in 2014, over 500 Earth planets to explore. But the specific one, Darwin 4, they're going to go to. Yeah, the robots are basically, there's going to be 2 of them, and one of them's going to have like a careful personality, I guess, where it's more cautious. And there's going to be another one that's more adventurous, that wants to interact and see what's going on. It's interesting, like the actual programming can, in the computers of the probes are actually telling them like what a predator is and what prey is and what the difference between them are. Animals that have their eyes on the front of their head kind of means they're predators because they're supposed to be looking forward. How cats have ears pointed up and forward so they can hear what's right in front of them, so they can chase their prey. And then you have animals like rabbits that are prey because they have eyes on the sides of their heads to look out for danger, and big ears to be able to hear to look out for danger. Actually, cool thing I learned about rabbits is in some cases, I think jackrabbits, I don't know, I learned about this a long time ago in like 7th grade, but it's totally true. At nighttime, you know how cats stalk their prey, and sometimes they'll find a rabbit and they'll sit there and they'll hide and just stare at the rabbit, and somehow the rabbit has inside information on the inner workings of, you know, the cat's brain, and knows that if it just stands there and doesn't move and the cat just continues to stare at it, what actually happens at night, this happens to humans too. If you stare at something at night and you don't blink and you don't move your eyes at all, which cats do very well. Have you seen your cat stare at you sometimes? That shit happens. And you stare at something, and if it's dark out, your pituitary gland, I believe it is, that you use to see things, it starts to kind of collapse in a way, and everything around you turns black. Everything, just you go blind pretty much. So the rabbit actually knows that when it's being watched by a cat, if it just stays there and doesn't move for a couple more minutes, everything will go black for the cat, and then it can run away, and the cat's still staring at it, and then by the time it realizes that there's nothing there, it's like, oh shit, oh, where the fuck did my rabbit go? But it's like weird how rabbits know to do that. Like, did they teach themselves through like getting hunted in the past, or is it just like a natural thing that's built into their systems? And don't even get me started on the creation of the universe. My god, I've been, I don't know why, I've just been recently insanely obsessed with documentaries. I've been watching on Netflix this program called Into the Universe with Stephen Hawking. Holy fucking shit! This dude just knows so much shit! He's talking about how the universe was created by a supernova, and how the only reason that our universe exists is because of math, and how everything has to equal 0. And it's weird because it sounds kind of crazy just hearing it from me, but if you actually watch all 3 of his long-ass episodes about, you know, the possibility of other life forms, which is totally applicable and reasonable. The creation of the universe, time travel is actually possible. The pyramids, that's what pyramids are for. You go near, when you're near a pyramid, you're experiencing time slower than everyone else. You just don't know it. But it's been proven, and there's actually different parts of the world, our world, and our solar system where time moves slower. For instance, the black hole at the center of our galaxy. Stephen Hawking says that if you were to fly down there and orbit it, you would be experiencing time in about half. So, but you wouldn't realize it. So what you'd actually technically be doing is you'd be traveling forward in time twice as fast as we are here on Earth. So you'd like leave to go to that, if you could somehow navigate around the black hole without getting sucked in, and you went around it like, I don't know, for 5 hours, 10 hours would have gone by on Earth. So let's say you went up there for a 5-year trip, you would come back to a 10-year-old Earth. Trippy as fuck, right? And now we're learning all about the polar ice caps and all these different oceans that we haven't even explored in our cosmic galaxy, where there's actually liquid water in it, which means life. And then there's this one video you can actually watch on YouTube, a link somewhere, that basically he talks about God, and is the existence of God a reasonable question for scientists? He says it is. And I totally think it is too. I mean, I used to be a hardcore Christian. My parents raised me very religious. You know, told me that God was the creator of everything, made everything and everyone, and loves everyone. And you know, if you don't follow his rules and you don't love him, you burn in hell for the rest of eternity. So, as a child, you know, I guess in a way you kind of just excuse that away because you're like, oh well, I mean, I do love God, so that's not going to happen to me. But if you get more into the religion, you realize that what they're actually saying, especially in the Seventh-day Adventist community, which I used to be a part of as well before I became agnostic, is that you have to actually be sorry for your sins or you burn in hell. Because what kind of deal is it if, like, you're just sinning all the time and you just say you're sorry every single time? You don't really mean it. And I'm pretty sure the creator of the universe, that is in everyone and everything, that made everyone and everything, can tell whether you're sincere or not. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, wait a minute, so because I jack off all the time, which is, according to Christians, a sin, I'm gonna burn in hell for the rest of eternity. That didn't really mesh well with me, and to be honest with you, I mean, I wanted God to be real because I thought the idea of something controlling everything made sense, and that maybe, as unfair as the world seems, that it would all be made up. In the end, people who, you know, have shitty lives but are good people will go to heaven and get rewards and all that kind of shit. But the more and more I look at science and, you know, what's actually in front of us and common logic, religion just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's just, it's almost like you have to, it's like you don't know. No one knows what happens after you die. There's some people who think you cease to exist, some people who think you go to heaven or hell or somewhere in between. Purgatory. And I mean, you can't... being raised as a Christian, it was very difficult for me to just sit there and be a part of my religion because I can't help but be curious as to what else is out there in the world. And I was taught also as a child that I'm not supposed to observe anything else. No other religions, no other forms of practice, and to basically just stay isolated from the rest of the world so that we don't become infected with sin. And being raised this way, I mean, everything obviously made sense at the time because that was all I knew. It was what my parents told me, what the church told me. And then I started meeting people who weren't religious, who explained to me that you can be your own person and you can go out and explore and get a fresh perspective of what makes sense to you. At least just being able to discover and to go and to learn what's right in front of us is so much more satisfying than me sitting alone at night wondering if God really exists. I can't do that. I personally need some proof of some kind. Even if he just shows up to me by myself and is like, I exist, I won't care about anyone else at that point. I won't care about trying to broadcast it. I mean, I might broadcast it on YouTube or whatever if some invisible fucking crazy thing showed up and was like, I'm God, the creator of the universe. Either that or I was just tripping balls. But either way, I don't have any personal proof of it. I haven't ever communicated with a godlike structure of any kind, and as far as I know anyway. So I don't really know what is out there and what created, what kickstarted our universe. A lot of scientists believe in evolution, that the universe spontaneously created itself. And I'm just thinking, well, that's really difficult to grasp because he says, you know, time didn't used to exist. All four of our dimensions didn't used to exist. There's 4 dimensions, by the way. Length, width, height, and then time. And apparently, the universe has been slowly creating itself over time. But it's weird to say that because apparently, at the beginning of the universe, there was no time. So it was literally just, and there was no outside because there was only one dimension. It was just the inside. There was only inside and that's all there was. There was no time, there was no outside, there was no height, width, or length. It was just, there was an inside. And then, apparently, I don't know. I'm trying to explain something that only Stephen Hawking can explain. I'm no genius. But you should really check it out. Yeah, I know you can look them up all on YouTube, but most people have Netflix, so just type in Into the Universe, and Stephen Hawking should show up. Or just type in Stephen Hawking, either way, you'll find it. But what I personally think, though, from what I've learned, is that Stephen Hawking actually says that he doesn't believe that there's a higher authority, which I think that there could be something that created physics, something that, made the laws of nature, made the Big Bang, you know what I mean, that something actually kick-started it, or something, it had to start from somewhere. Either that, I mean, you know, in all honesty, we can't really assume that. We can't assume that it had to start, because as far as we know, time is constructed based off the rotation of the moon and the sun in our solar system. So how can we really say that time is the same anywhere else? Maybe effects happen before causes in other places. It's like, we don't know. We have our physics that we can see with our eyes from where we are, and we haven't been able to explore the rest of the cosmic universe to be able to answer those kind of questions yet. So trying to act like you have the answer to something you don't is just ludicrous, in my opinion. And having the closed-minded perception that, you know, if God doesn't exist, then we've been wrong this whole time. So therefore, I don't really want anyone, I don't want to feel like I've been wrong this whole time. Do you want to feel like you've been wrong this whole time? I don't want to feel like I've been wrong this whole time. Let's just keep doing Christianity and call everything else heresy. You know, it's like, it's stupid. It's just stupid. It's prideful. And I think that, you know, intelligent people learn to think for themselves and go out and learn everything that they can. Because, first of all, knowledge is power, which is nice to have. But then also, it's just, it's interesting. I mean, it might not seem interesting at first. I didn't used to think the planets were interesting. I thought they were just planets. Like, when you really sit down and you like learn about them, and you learn about how our universe works and how math works and how physics works, I mean, at least to me, it's extremely interesting, because like you can apply it to your life and you can learn about stuff that's actually around you, instead of being sucked into all the US culture, you know, about Lady Gaga and Nicki Minaj and Justin Bieber and Rebecca Black and just all the stupid shit we spend so much time watching and talking about, giving so much worship to all these celebrities that don't even have fucking talent. Like, speaking of that, what the fuck has happened to music these days? What the fuck has happened to music? Like, I'm sorry, it's just all the rap and the hip hop and shit like that. Like, I mean, I'm not hating on rap and hip hop. It's the newer shit. The songs like stupid hoe, stupid hoe, stupid hoe, stupid hoe, baby, 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 rah 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 ah ah, rah rah ma. It's just like, and it's okay every once in a while, but now it's just bullshit. Anyway, my camera's about to die because it sucks, so I guess that's all the time we have for today, folks. I shall recharge this camera and make another video soon.